All of you, without any exception, will reach a point in your life where you just can't move on, where it's too scary to move forward, and you are too tired and it's just too painful. So you freeze, you stay in that moment, and motivation doesn't work, and others just aren't good enough reason to keep you going. This is a place I know too well since I had depression. That void where you are living, but you really aren't. You eat and smile, but you keep going back to that place. So I built a system to bring me back. Because it isn't always about the same thing, and fighting for others isn't the best option. This isn't selfish, it's natural. That's why my system is completely self-sustained. And the way this works is more like a journey. And I hope that with each step, you will come to realize where you are and what is the next thing you need to explore. So here's my formula to find purpose and self-worth. There's 3 versions of me that decides what my life will be. First is the child, the first stage. And this child controls your life on a big level. Like it's reactive instead of conscious. It doesn't accept anything uncomfortable and has this deep fear of pain. And if not managed, they will shape their entire lives on one experience. Like every single behavior will be around avoiding that one thing that happened before, aka trauma, which leads you to depression because you can't be constantly afraid. Your body will just shut off on you. And that's the same person who runs to games or junk food and never exercises. And it keeps this naive belief that the savior will come, which is not true for most of us. And your job with this child is to help them go through the pain and understand why pain is necessary, explaining it in a better way than just saying you have to. Because if you can't accept pain, then you aren't living, you are just running away. A choice comes from being able of doing each option. Otherwise, it's not a choice. But this gives you freedom, power. And there's a reason why we want to start with the child. It's because that's the person that helps an old man the most. This old man has no future ahead of him. He's alone, and his biggest fear is loneliness. And the void and the lack of time just makes it worse. So he's bitter, he's full of regrets, but he doesn't like accepting his failures. So he just takes it out on the world. He complains because it's easier on his ego. But his future still doesn't change. And that's why bringing the child matters. It's about reminding him that his life can still have meaning. That even if he doesn't get everything the way he wants, there are still other ways to live. That's where that naive hope children have can help. Because old people are always the most suspicious, even though they can afford to be tricked. They can afford to fail. Helping the old man is about accepting the limits of your existence. It's about looking beyond what just feels good. That's perception, wisdom. And after we help those two, it's time to help the one who's stuck. Our present selves, the adults. And this version hates responsibility. They just want to have fun and travel, and they don't want to worry about anything else. So they never get into complicated situations. So their life never grows. They keep picking up new things and still feeling lost. But that's what the child and the old man are there for. The old man teaches the adult about all the regrets he has and reminds him of why he shouldn't give up. It shows the adult what real loneliness looks like, what real despair is like. And the child brings out the best of the adult. Because we might not know what's best for ourselves, but we know what's best for kids. And that's having a life that's consistent and free of addictions. And you know this because you partied, you kept your addictions, and you avoided your worst fears. And yet, you are still miserable. And that's because you keep avoiding this, the one thing that proves your existence. So take up the mantle. Take responsibility for your life, for your fears, and for your happiness. And that's why you should keep going. Because it's not about you, and it is about you. And no matter how much you travel, drink, smoke, eat, that feeling won't go away. Because this lives with you every single day. And that's why it's worth it to help those versions of you. And if you have trouble figuring out which is which, it's 10 times easier with someone else. I do one-on-one sessions, link in the description. Let's help you move forward. But that's where you can find your self-worth from being able to become someone who can go through these things. That's the purpose of relationships, why people want other people. And you can't offer that if you never went through the process. And if this video was too imaginative, don't worry. In my next video, I will talk about what real healing looks like. And no, it's not laughing in a field of flowers. No one does that. So I will see you next week. There's always a way. And if you can't get out of the first phase, then watch this video. I will show you how.